gymnastics looking so much more assured. He'll get a World Cup medal in time if he keeps doing that. Now the finalists in the women's floor event. These gentlemen who'll be competing in the pommel horse competition. You're watching the Baku World Cup of Artistic Gymnastics, the start of the 2025 season. This is the second World Cup event after Cottbus took place last month. Now, I've already mentioned on a couple of occasions that there are some differences in the code of points for men and women this season. The pommel horse competition will be taking place in just a moment, and there's real interest in this one for the United States of America. They have the top two performers in qualification. Patrick Hoop's the second best, will go ahead of Brandon Dang, who was the strongest performer. My word, we've seen some lovely pommel horse gymnastics from the United States of America in recent years. It feels mandatory to mention good old Stephen Nederozic at this point. The floor final for women at the World Cup. And the top in qualifying was Japan's Kina Rishi with a score of 12.8. She will go penultimate starting position. The second best, her own teammate Tokutsugi Aya, who will go second. Now, just to go back to what I was mentioning about the code of points and the pommel horse, one of the interesting features is the downgrading, by and large, of the Wenderschwing elements. For those of you who are newer to watching gymnastics, that's where the gymnast is performing circular motions facing down in the direction of the apparatus with a straight body position. Now, they form the backbone of a lot of pommel horse routines. Maybe they feature less now under the new system. We'll have to wait and see. Chu Yiming of the People's Republic of China performing on floor, the third best in qualification. in qualification, Chu Yiming was among the more complicated performers. There's a nice variety of tumbling passes. And that was reflected in a difficulty score of 5.2 in the preliminary phase.
Please welcome Jayan Sandhya Harikrishnan, India.
Jayan Sandhya Harikrishnan of India, World Cup debutant. 13.333 in qualification, just made it into the final. Good luck to him here. Just getting a little clipping of the apparatus. He's working hard to keep his body raised. A little form deterioration here and there. Not bad Magyar Shivado work though. And really good determination to get that body raised upwards and to dismount with cleanliness. Very enjoyable performance that from the 15-year-old Chu Yiming from Fujian province. For the score to come in. .766, so it's an improvement from qualification by just over a tenth. It's a job nicely done. On the subject of jobs nicely done, how impressive Tokutsuki Ayu has been in her debut in World Cup competition. Got onto the uneven bars podium. Now she performs as the second strongest in floor qualifying. Wasn't that lovely? A 19-year-old who's been fabulous to watch. 13.466. He's up from qualification. Well done to Jayan Sandhya Harikrishnan. Van der Aar from Belgium. Third best in qualification. Scored 14.133. Keeping decent clearance. Leg separation, but steadied. Very powerful routine, this. Does have some Wendeschwing work and cuts out the middle to make that complicated. Yes, very nice. He's only 19. From an execution point of view, that looked rather tidy. 12.9. She goes into the lead. She's actually up quite a bit from qualification, from 12.633. From Kazakhstan, Arina Lebedeva, 16-year-old who competed at the Junior World Championships in Turkey in 2023. Just her second season in World Cup competition, a teenager from Kazakhstan. Very kinetic performance, lots of spring. And Van der Aar goes into the lead, 14.1. Virtually the same as qualifying. Now, this is going to be interesting. The two American gentlemen about to perform. This is Patrick Hoops, 22 from Utah. Same score as Brandon Dang in the preliminary round, 14.3. It's just he had higher difficulty than his teammate, so losing out on the execution tiebreak. Nice toe point, got the heels really pressed together. Gosh, this looks very smooth. Again, cuts out part of the pommel horse in the Wendeschwing. Some good single arm work too going on, and gets around in that pirouette. Very tidy. .633 for Lebedeva. So it represents a strong improvement of about 4/10 from qualifying. From Croatia, Antea Sikic Kaučić, from the capital city of Zagreb. The 16-year-old makes her World Cup debut, but she is the reigning national champion on floor. was fabulous. There are some gymnastics routines you want to give numbers to and some you want to open a bag of popcorn to, and that was the latter. It was just theatrical and full of dance. 14.533, that's a great score. Execution is way up there. Patrick Hoops leads. Brandon Dang of the United States of America. Now his teammate has just gone beyond the qualification score they both had, 14.3, so that is a challenge for the man who grew up in San Jose in California. Oh, she's got some good clearance though. That's when teammates, despite being competitors, support each other. It's part of the ethos of this great sport. Gosh, he can move fast, can't he? Brandon Dang. Real specialist on this apparatus. Easy to see why she's the national champion on floor. That was just a treat. Not the most difficult of the routines, but in terms of its performative quality, that's what you want to see on floor. That's why there's music on floor, so it can be performed to, so it can be danced to. She only competed on floor at last year's national championships. It's very much her apparatus, as if you're in any doubt about that after witnessing that performance. I think that's going to be one of the most memorable moments of the entire weekend of World Cup competition, actually, regardless of the position it occupies on the leaderboard, regardless of the difficulty score. .1 for Antea Sikic-Kaucic. She's in 4th position, but she's got the highest execution score of everyone so far. Now her difficulty is down a bit from qualifying. We'll come back to that later. He's in the gold medal position. Brandon Dang, 14.633. Great to see those two young men from the USA pushing each other. And what's crucial for Dang is that he actually gained 0.2 in difficulty compared to qualification. So that's put him a 10th ahead of his teammate. But that was very assured work from those two young men. They'll be very pleased about that. The American fans watching on, I'm sure there are many of you thrilled with what you've just seen. Now we go to the second half of this women's floor final. Bengisu Yıldız of Turkey, the reigning national champion of this apparatus, and most other things, because she had a great conclusion to 2024. 6th best in qualifying here. very enjoyable floor final. Playing her part, Bengüsü Yıldız. First competition of 2025. Getting her season underway with these World Cups. Now, keep a very close eye on this young man. This is David Ivanov of Bulgaria. 17, born in the nation that he represents, but he lives in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. He trains at South Essex. I know a thing or two about the old pommel horse there. And he won the silver medal at the Junior European Championships in Italy last year. A slight height position to the body at times, but that's very nice. He's really developing. He's putting more into his gymnastics. He's adding some difficulty. That's really enjoyable. I think we're going to see a lot more of that young gentleman. 12.266, Bengüsü Yıldız goes into 4th place. So it's still Tokutsuki Ayu who's leading. Now we go to Kira Maharovic, competing as a neutral athlete. 12.1 in qualification, the 8th strongest. Interesting weekend. Yesterday was the elder stateswomen dominating in vault. All of these women's floor finalists are teenagers. Something for everyone. And there's a teenager performing well on the horse, David Ivanov, 14.066. But just to go back to that point I was making about the women's floor final and the vault competition, how can you not be inspired as a female gymnast looking at the role models you've got there, both young and more senior in their careers? Zeynole Idrisov of Kazakhstan, 4th best in qualifying. Smoothness is coming really as he goes through this routine. Very straight body position. The midsection, there's almost no bend, a little bit more there. Elegant pirouette to finish, nice. Junior World Championship medalist on the pommel horse in 2023. 12.233 for Kira Maharovic, she goes into 5th position. Now the top performer in qualification, Kishi Rina, a 17-year-old from Japan. 12.8 her score in the preliminary round. She had the highest difficulty score in qualification. You have seen some evidence as to why. Super work from Kishilina. Super work from Zinona Idrisov, 14.4. He goes into the bronze medal position ahead of Kylian van der Aar. Vladryko of Ukraine, the penultimate gymnast to go in this men's pommel horse final, 13.4 in qualification. A Youth Olympic Games silver medalist on this apparatus in 2014. How time flies. Good control. Sometimes a bit of a midsection bend, maybe a slight lack of toe point here and there, some small features, but mechanically, in terms of the gymnastics he's performing, it's very good. Dealt with the leg separation there, maybe just slightly slowed him down, but he picked back up, very powerful. Well performed, Vladryko. Tokutsuki Ayu leads on 12.9 with a 5.2 difficulty. Yeah, there we go, 13.066. I did think the difficulty might be a bit higher than qualification. She's gained 3/10 and she's gone into the lead. Now to Natalia Jacobi of Serbia, from Cleveland in Ohio in the USA. Oh, well done. Congratulations on a senior international debut, Natalia Jacobi. She actually has pictures of herself as a child with Oksana Chusevitna from 2018. Now she's competing with her 13.5. Kladruko in 6th place. Levan Shkiladze of Georgia. It's always a pleasure to watch him on this apparatus. 6th at the European Championships last year. He's moving nice and quickly. He's the last gymnast to go in this final, but he needs in excess of 14.4 to get on the podium. That would be a big increase from qualification. Lots of tidiness. Oh, just as it was looking tidy. And that's pommel horse for you, isn't it? It can all change in an instant. Oh, it's a beguiling thing, that apparatus. Shkiladze completes his routine. What an amazing moment for Natalia Jacobi. Just imagine it, she has that photograph as a child taken with her icon, Oksana Chusevitna. And now suddenly, there they are competing at World Cup level together. A moment to treasure for a lifetime. Congratulations, Natalia Jacobi, on your senior international debut. She's finished 7th in this floor final. The classified results in the women's floor competition. Chu Yiming of the People's Republic of China takes bronze. Tokutsuki Ayu, of Japan takes silver with 12.9, and Kishi Rina, her teammate, wins it with 13.066. It's a crucial difficulty upgrade there from Kishi of 3/10.
Let's welcome us horizontal bar finalists.
12.166 for Levan Shkiladze. He's in 8th place. Unfortunately, came off. The classified results in the men's pommel horse competition. Kazakhstan's Zinala Idrisov wins bronze. Patrick Hoops of the USA takes the silver medal, and his teammate Brandon Dang finishes ahead of him by 1/10 of a mark. He added 2/10 of difficulty in the final, and that was the key differential. Continue the award ceremonies. Men's pommel horse competition next to be presented. Idrisov of Kazakhstan winning the bronze medal. Wonderful performance by the American gymnast Patrick Hoops, taking the silver medal, and his teammate Brandon Dang, the champion. It was a very close pommel horse final. 14.4, 14.533, 14.633. Pommel horse performances from Team USA. And there they are, the medalists in the men's pommel horse competition. Award ceremony in the women's floor competition. Bronze medal won by Chu Yiming of the People's Republic of China. Another medal for Tokutsuki Ayu of Japan, a silver. And a gold medal won by her teammate Kishi Rina of Japan. Medalists in the women's floor competition at the Baku World Cup.